Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Allie with A. Speaks. This is a sort of welcome video, also just a general sort of offering of what I have going on my channel for people who are new, or even people who are not new who maybe haven't been with me since the start of my channel a couple years now. Might be interested in some of my older videos and playlists in the upcoming couple of weeks and months, where I might be posting more sporadically. So this is sort of an update video. It is May 2024, and this is, like I said, sort of a welcome, but also just a bit of a update on my own doings. If you're following my channel right now, here on YouTube or Telegram, wherever, you'll know I've sort of done some moving and having a lot of upgrades and alignments, different shifts happening in my world and life that are taking up a lot of my time. Not to mention, you know, I homeschool my sons who are 17 and 10, and we have lots of stuff with the end of the school wrapping up here, the school year, and also, you know, spring weather, outdoor property care, and all that kind of stuff. Takes up a lot of my free time right now. So although I have a ton of projects going on and I have a lot in the works to offer coming in the future, I am going to be a bit more slow in the offering. So I wanted to offer this sort of personal kind of video. So welcome to my channel. If you're new, I have already playlists on meditations. Well, if you are interested in that and you've followed my channel because of the meditations I offer, I have a whole playlist of them already. And if you are ever interested in the files to download on your own, I offer those. You could send me an email, send them to you for free through email. So no disruptions with ads there, and no need for Wi-Fi or whatever if you're trying to kind of get away from radiating yourself with Wi-Fi all the time, as I am. The other sort of things that I'm offering, and I have offered in the past, spiritual discernment sort of topics, and shadow work and light work, things that have to do with energy alchemy and how we can ignite personal practices to really get to the truth of our own journey and to really discover what we're here to do and how, in really generic terms. So if that kind of stuff interests you and you haven't gotten around to seeing me speak about stuff like that, I have a bunch of videos in a couple of playlists on shadow work and spiritual discernment. If you come and listen to my Friday videos here, I will continue to always do my Friday videos. I know last time was on a Saturday, and that might happen here or there, but I really love my Friday commitment. So I will continue to do those single readings. I haven't done a transitionary reading or any tarot sort of reading videos in a while, although I do have a spiritual divination playlist as well. And I will kind of do another self-plug here, which is my website, of course. I talk about that a lot on my videos at the end, amariespeaks.com. The link's usually in a description somewhere. But I have entire tabs to these things where I have not only my offerings of links to videos or blogs and references of my own personal work, but I also have a plethora of third-party information, resources, other videos of people that I've enjoyed personally and found really interesting or receptive or whatever. So if you want more along the lines of things that I talk about as well, there's a lot of references on my website. So feel free to take a look over there. I am going to I've been doing that website for maybe 3 years now. I forget how long it's been exactly, but I try to shift around information, add new information as I come upon it. So if you've checked it a while ago, feel free to look back. You might find new things, you might not. As you know, I'm here and there, all over the place with that. But that's always a great place for more information if you're looking for more about things that I talk about on my channel here. Other things on the channel that I am currently kind of going through, or actually past sort of wrapped up comprehending Comprehending Consciousness. That series is sort of always ongoing, but it has become more and more spread out. I was very consistent with lots of the terminologies through, maybe 20 words that were very prevalent that I really wanted to sort of dive into that led that series off. But I believe they're in the 40s, 40-something, I think I'm around episodes of that playlist. And if you're newly woken up, or even if you've been awake for a while and you're just interested in hearing new takes on sort of buzzwords like ascension, sacred masculine, sacred feminine, waking up, woke, what else? I did a lot of sort of mainstream trigger words and talk about them, and also kind of look at the propaganda of them, and then talk about the under the surface of the tip of the iceberg kind of thing. So if you have missed that, you could check those out on a playlist on here on YouTube too. Let's see. Oh, ongoing things that I've been working on is the Energetic System series. That used to be my welcome video, and that series is still ongoing. I'm going to sort of keep through level 6 where we're at and wrap it up, and then pause and take a break and work through the course books that are going to come along with the real program that I'm going to put together, and have those videos as just a clipped, linked offering within the workbook and course books that will go along with that. Deeper workings and metaphysical understandings of energetic exchanges and the torus structure. Lots of people are aware of a torus shape, and more of us are becoming aware of frequencies, cymatics, aura, the electromagnetic pulsation of the body. Whether you are just coming off of mainstream understandings like EEGs, EKGs, the fMRIs and MRIs, and all of these different ways that we brain waves and scalar waves, and there's just a plethora of this sort of scientific realm that is starting to break into and understand these more fringy, out there topics that aren't really out there at all. They're actually a part of the whole, and they're just as relative, if not more relative, than a lot of the Rockefeller propaganda, sort of academia world, penguin kind of walk that most of us are more familiar with. So yeah, I have a couple of levels of videos. I might be in the 30s or 40s amount of videos that work through 6 levels, like I said so far, breaking down the foundations originally in level 1, where we talk about what energy is, and then talking about the torus as a tool and its 3 different parts, and then referencing that to ourselves as a teredo and looking at our own systems, and that brings in the actual systems language and seeing ourselves as one whole system that functions as a teredo. I'm going to have a phone ringing in the background. Hopefully it doesn't continue. Good. Thank you. Yeah, and breaking down the system into 3, external, internal, and then sort of the flow, the communication that creates the 3rd part of this sort of triad. That is the Energetic System series. If you haven't found me through that one, and you're interested in that kind of take, I have found that working and bringing systems and looking at my own internal world in that kind of way and language and perspective, amazing and helpful. It's just like kickstarting the spiritual alchemy that I talk about so much. That really is just life progression. It's just about growing and changing as a human person and maturing as in your life, And speaking of that, other things that I have ongoing and talk about sometimes more on my podcast and on my blog over on the website is parenting through the apocalypse, homeschooling, the sort of role and ever-changing complications that we are facing through past 2020 and into now 2024, with a lot of the hype and infringements and distortions that have really taken place. And speaking from a perspective of someone who's trying to remain as an organic, sacred human and keep my family unit in a traditional sense and safe, and allowed to flourish and bloom in the way that I feel is our highest good and of service to all in our collective and our community and our family, all the highest goods. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, if you have kids, even if you don't, if you're looking to parent your inner child or whatever, I have a bunch of videos on that, and I have more podcasts and blogs, like I said, a couple of videos sort of on YouTube about that. And I do have an entire parenting guidebook sort of thing, which I'm hoping to do an audio version of a complete read, but I have a video up, sort of a walkthrough. I'll link that in the description if you didn't see that honest parenting video. I'll link that if you're interested. You could check that out. I did make a list for myself, but I put my notepad over there, of course, after I sat down. And in my new space, I'm a little bit more constricted just in this area. The way I've set my table up, I realized wasn't, very conducive to moving, flexible and spacious. The rest of my room is pretty great, but I kind of confined myself in this corner here. So, but it's working. Anyways, I'm trying to stay on point with this video here. Other thing that is a real project in the works that I will be bringing forth a whole video walkthrough, another sort of workbook, course book on numerology. So if you're interested in understanding not just personal numerology and creating birth charts, but also how numbers are the language of the universe and how we can learn to speak that and understand how all things grow sequentially and explore what I call sequential growth model, learning numerology through this sort of more generic and basic flow and template. I'm going to have, and I'm almost finished with this sort of interactive workbook, and I'll do a video on that coming soon. So yeah, those are my projects in the works. I will have, final thing, my real final thing is a new topic to turn. I'm going to close the book completely kind of for now on comprehending consciousness and leave that as a beginner's level, people who are newly woken up, which is what I really talk about in all of those videos. And when my channel started, that was, my initial intention, was to sort of bring things to the public on YouTube, which tends to be more of a mainstream population of people. This newer segment that I'm going to break into is kind of going to be the second step of that, and I'm going to call it deconstructing. Oh, now they've stolen the title from my brain. Distortions. Deconstructing distortions. See, it's like a little hard to say as well. But it's so important, and this is the other thing. I don't have these videos here on YouTube. If you're interested in BitChute, if you go over on that platform, it's a little intense over there. It's turned kind of extreme. I've kind of backed away. I used to be a huge BitChute fan. I used to really, want everything over there and be more sort of get off the mainstream, but it has become like highly infested with negativity over there. I don't know if it's bots or just a negative agenda working to sort of infiltrate something that's more of an offshoot and was more positively aligned. I feel more free service offered over there. It's become very extreme, I feel. And also, anyways, I'm not going to get into my issues with BitChute. There is some videos over there. I have an entire playlist that I don't offer really on YouTube because of the wording, and a lot of the terms I use are triggered and I wouldn't want to be flagged or have my videos taken down. And so that is over there, and it's called The Tricks and Traps of the Negative Agenda, and I talk all about the matrix mind control and stuff like that, and how to break out of that, what that all constitutes, and what negative systems really are. Bringing forth that type of information is what led me into backtracking and wanting to really just talk about systems in general, because we've been so confused and tied into believing that the negative orientation and functionality of systems, this downward hierarchy of authority in a negative flow, is the only one. And it's the way the world works, and it just is the way. And it really isn't. There's this whole other infinite reality and playscape, and there's a whole other positive spectrum mirrored to be built within on sort of the graph of the X and Y axis. We're stuck on the negative side and forgetting there's a whole positivity over here. And that's why I wanted to really pull back and talk about systems in general, understand how it's tools, and how the torus is a tool, and it can be used negatively or positively. And in fact, it's used in both ways, and they should be used in both ways to balance each other out and to create great momentum and change through catalyst. But we are really harnessing a single way and having great problems because there's no balancing offered, and in fact, it's sort of deterred and not allowed, and that's because of the hijacking of negativity. But that's to keep the negative building over here, and all the attention and light, happening on that side of the graph or spectrum or whatever you want to look at it as the playscape. But you can easily and always just divert your attention and bring it over to positivity, and you'll find plenty of space and workings, plenty of systems that work beautifully over there. And that's really what I'm doing in my life and what I want to encourage others to do. So that's why I kind of also, sort of put that playlist and that project on hold and put it over there and let it sit as it is, and turn to just talking about systems in general and hoping to build positive systems. And energetically, in that energy system series, I focus on a more positive bias, and I do say that a lot. It's service to others oriented. And this new sort of step up from comprehending consciousness, this sort of deconstruction of the distortions, is going to be the same thing. It's going to be positively aligned and oriented, and it's also going to be sort of for people who are with it, who are on a step up, this alchemist level, who are ready to deconstruct the delusions, the distortions, this sort of incorrectness that has happened. It's a real manipulation, but you have to be aware to it, and you have to have also done the spiritual work. If you can do the workings through the Energetic System series and do some of the meditations and take time out in your real world to do that work for yourself, and in the real world, inside yourself, do that real work first, before you take a look at this next step. Or, if you've been doing them with me, wonderful, you're going to love this probably. Because I'm going to take these sort of manipulated, highly compromised words and find the truth within them and break apart the sort of bushels and the bristles on it, and the dead weeds and roots and the things that make it look really dead and misused and or scary or whatever the case is, ugly, out of time, out of touch, and take it all out and to see the beauty within it, to let those real truth of the blossoms that are there, the wildflowers, the rose bush, whatever you want to kind of envision this as, let them grow within there and be seen for what they truly are and what they were meant to be, because all seeds, all plants, all people have a purpose. Everything within this intelligent design and this organic playscape has a place and a part to play in its role. It has divine organization, right down to cellular level. So people who understand and accept that and who know it and want to seek more about it, we want to get rid of these uncomfortabilities. We want to bring and smooth out the sort of wrinkles, right? Take the iron and get to the real truth of it. Shake it out. Let it in the sunshine. Whatever it takes to get it into that beautiful state where we can really see the true reflection that's meant to be and called forth to be. So that I'm going to be taking terminology, certain flaggy words, and breaking them down and looking for the truth within them. So you can look forward to that in sporadic posts coming in the near future through the summer 2024 here. And that pretty much wraps up my video and wraps up my updates and everything that's going on. I am on Telegram, posting still, trying to do a couple of posts weekly. Daily is sort of breaking up for me, but the intention is daily to check in, at least on Telegram. So if you are enjoying my content and you are looking for more and you use that platform, you could follow me on A. Marie Speaks over there. But if not, I'll be here posting randomly on YouTube with some videos. And always on my website, like I said, you can find me directly on amariespeaks.com. If you have any ideas, if you have any topics that you'd like to see, videos that inspired you, books that inspire you, I love collecting information. Like I said, I store it on my website. I love to be sort of an open starting ground, a library that is always open. This is the first time I'll speak on this, but this is another intention that I'm building behind the scenes on my website. Slowly the architecture is coming into this, my infinite library of metaphysical references, and this will be, my ever expanding just links and everything that I've ever found to be helpful in all categories and spectrum of growth. From a metaphysical sense, from esoteric sense, these more really truth-based things that are very deep, spiritual, calling to the essence of us, calling to our inner wisdom in our soul. So if those type of things are calling to you, if you're looking for more things that have depth, books, videos, references, other people, other figures that have qualities of truth, that are speaking theirs and sharing it from all different walks of life, I hope to be a starting point for people to know that you can come in and find new pieces to that. So if you're like me, like-minded like that, or you just bump into things that you like that you'd love to share, know that you could always send them over to my email, third.i.navigation@protonmail.com. Links always, words and stuff are always in the descriptions. But yes, thank you so much for joining me here for this little welcome update video for May 2024 on YouTube. I thank you for your audience. Thank you for your beautiful commitment and your fractal contribution to our collective. Thanks for witnessing mine as always. I'll catch you next time.